Why are you so quiet? Is something wrong? Why aren't you talking? Are you sad? If you've ever heard these words, as if your silence is a flaw that needs fixing, as if something is wrong with you. You don't want parties. You don't want small talk. You just want peace. But everyone around you looks at you like you're hiding something, like being quiet is a disease that needs curing. Today I'll explain 5 types of quiet people, not 4 like you usually hear, and more importantly, why you don't talk much. Because it could be a strategy, it could be a superpower, or it could be a sign of something deeper that needs healing. By the end of this video, you'll ask yourself, which type am I? And no, there's nothing wrong with you. The first type, the conversational escape artist. Do you know this type? Sitting in a group, looking like they're listening, nodding at the right moments, laughing at the right times, but in reality, praying no one asks them anything. Here's the interesting thing. They don't hate talking. They just don't want to talk right now. Imagine this. You're in a meeting. Everyone's giving input. Your turn comes. So, what does James think? Boom. Passing the responsibility to speak like passing a hot potato. Psychologists call these people strategic communicators. They don't lack opinions. They have 10 ideas in their head. But they choose not to speak. Why? Because they're reading the room. Who's talking the most? Who's frustrated? Who's agreeing? Who's pretending to agree? While everyone's competing to be heard, they're gathering information, observing, adapting, and when necessary, only when truly necessary, they speak up. A study from the University of Michigan found people who speak less in meetings are often rated as having more strategic thinking than those who speak more, not because they're smarter, but because silence creates the impression of careful consideration. If you're this type, here's what you need to know. You're not shy. You're controlling the conversation without speaking. Silent manipulation, but with class. Some call it passive. I call it strategic. But the second type is completely different. They don't avoid, they select. The second type, the value speaker. Do you know this type? Ask them their favorite pizza topping. Silence. Ask about the new movie. It's okay. Gossip about coworkers? Zero interest. But mention the universe, philosophy, or human psychology? Suddenly they transform into a TED speaker, talking non-stop, eyes lighting up, hands gesticulating everywhere. This is the type whose words carry weight. They value their mental energy. To them, every sentence is an investment, and they only invest in what's worthwhile. Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who studies flow state, calls these people depth-oriented communicators. They don't care about the quantity of conversations, they care about quality. If you're this type, you'll understand this feeling. Someone asks your opinion on something you don't care about. Your brain shuts down. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you don't want to waste energy on things without depth. And here's something interesting. If a value speaker talks a lot with you, that's a sign. Your topic has touched their brain or soul. That's the biggest compliment they can give. Society says, talking a lot equals being social. They say, selective speaking equals respecting my own words. If someone complains you don't contribute enough, that's not your problem. They haven't brought up a topic worthy enough for you to contribute to. You're not quiet. You're just saving your words for what deserves them. The third type doesn't need others to have conversations, because they already have their own conversations in their head. The third type, the lone thinker. Do you know this type? They spend time alone, a lot of time. Not because they're lonely, but because in their head, they already have enough conversations. Imagine this. A problem appears. Normal people call friends, share feelings, ask for opinions. Lone thinker? They've already debated with themselves, argued back, won, lost, reached a conclusion, all in their head. When you meet them, they seem quiet, distant, even uninterested. But in reality, they've just grown accustomed to silence. Psychologists describe these people as having high self-awareness, but lower social energy. This isn't a defect. This is how their brain is wired. Their comfort zone is peace and introspection, not small talk. And here's a familiar scenario. Friends, why so quiet? Sad? Is something wrong? They're not sad. Nothing's wrong. It's simply nothing needs to be said. But everyone looks at them as if they're hiding something, as if silence equals problem. If you're this type, here's the truth. They don't hate people, they just don't need constant noise. Their outer world is quiet because their inner world is already vibrant enough. A study from the Journal of Personality found, people with high introspection tendencies often have better complex problem-solving abilities, because they've been practicing deep thinking in their heads for a long time. Their silence isn't lacking, it's enough. Enough with themselves. The fourth type is the most respected. When they speak, the whole room goes silent. The fourth type, the silent authority. Do you know this type? Calm. Composed. Sitting there like a monk while everyone around is in chaos. Meta. Sex 1.0. Picture this. Meeting. 10 people. Everyone fighting to speak. Opinion on top of opinion. Noise on top of noise. One person sits quietly, observing, listening. Finally, everyone turns to them. What about you? They say 3 sentences. The entire room goes silent. That's the moment I realized the person who speaks least can be the one who's heard most. This type doesn't speak because they don't need to. Their confidence doesn't require volume. Their presence doesn't require words. Psychologists call this quiet confidence. They radiate stability, presence, qualities that naturally command respect. And here's something interesting. A study from Harvard Business Review found, in work environments, people who speak 30% less in meetings are often rated as having higher executive presence because their words carry weight. When you speak less, every sentence becomes an event. When you speak a lot, your words become background noise. If you're this type, you don't need to speak more to be heard. You're already being heard, because when you speak, it matters. Your silence isn't weakness, it's power. But there's a fifth type that most people don't talk about. This type isn't quiet because of personality, they're quiet because they've been wounded. This type isn't quiet because of personality, they're quiet because they've been wounded. Imagine this. As a child, every time you opened your mouth to say something, you were laughed at. What are you saying? You were contradicted. Wrong. You were criticized. Think before you speak. Time after time, year after year, gradually, silence became a reflex. It's not that you have nothing to say. You have so much you want to say. But you learned a painful lesson. Speaking hurts. Psychologists call this socially conditioned silence. Silence taught by social trauma. Your brain has been programmed. Speaking equals danger. Silence equals safety. And here's what makes this different from the other 4 types. Types 1 to 4 are quiet as a strategy or personality. Type 5 is quiet as a defense mechanism. They didn't choose silence, silence chose them. If this is you, I want you to hear this. There's nothing wrong with you. Those wounds don't define you. They only define what you've been through. And the fact that you're still here, still watching this video, still learning about yourself, that's a sign of strength, not weakness. Your silence isn't strategy, it's self-protection, and you're allowed to heal. So how do these 5 types relate to each other? Now you know the 5 types of quiet people. But here's the most important insight. They're not separate. They exist on a spectrum. I call it the silent spectrum. On one end, strategic, silence as strategy. On the other end, protective, silence as protection. Escape artist to value speaker, to lone thinker, to silent authority, to wounded silencer. From strategy to protection. From strength to healing. And here's the core insight. Understanding the origin of your silence equals understanding your superpower or wound that needs healing. You might be one type, or a combination of several. There's no right or wrong, only the truth about you. And here's what I want you to remember. If you've ever been called too quiet, why aren't you social? Is something wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with you. Your silence isn't a defect, it's your signature. You might be an escape artist, controlling conversations without speaking. You might be a value speaker. Your words carry weight. You might be a lone thinker. Your inner world is vibrant enough. You might be a silent authority, speaking little but the whole room listens. Or you might be a wounded silencer, healing your wounds. Whatever type you are, remember this. You don't need to speak more to have value. The people who speak least are often the ones who are heard most. And you? Which of these 5 types are you? If this video made you think differently about silence, comment below. Which type are you? And if you think there's a type 6, share it. Hit subscribe if you enjoy videos that dive deep into human psychology like this. We'll explore many more fascinating topics. And if you want to connect with people who think like you, Discord link in the description. See you in the next video.